What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Crypto Sherpa Show, where I cover the latest cryptocurrency news articles to keep you up to date on what's going on in this space. And that way, also, you are safe in this space. Because as the title shows, are you safe from this latest Ledger NPM supply chain attack? Now, this isn't the first time an NPM attack has happened. Like just 2 months ago, there was an attack on Atomic Swap and Exodus Wallet, where it didn't affect any users at all, but it was just one developer who accidentally downloaded it from like their GitHub's coast, and then that was just a bad thing to do. So that code didn't affect any users, and as far as I know from this article, no users actually, like just people every day, me, you, anyone else just using like these wallets or anything, have not been affected on it. So this is more on the developer side. But I wanted to start off by covering though this NPM supply chain attack, because it is all the talk right now. Like everyone's worried, am I safe? Do I need to move my funds over? Well, if you're using Ledger, I already would say yes, because I don't even like that wallet. But no, this is again just to keep you safe and informed on what's been going on in the space. So Ledger CTO warns of an NPM supply chain attack hitting 1 billion plus downloads. I wonder who those billion were, but it wasn't users. So according to UMET, the malicious code already pushed into packages with over 1 billion downloads is designed to silently swap crypto wallet addresses in transactions. That means unsuspecting users could send funds directly to an attacker without realizing. So the way that works is, again, like when you pull up your phone address, you get that QR code or whatever. On the back end, like the side you're seeing is usually, like with this attack, is the attacker's one. Usually this is more common with like the hardware wallet side. So usually when you plug in your Ledger wallet or your Trezor wallet, any hardware device, you got to approve the public address. So you see it, you confirm it on screen. But what's happening with this attack, if this malicious code is in here, you click receive, you see your address on here. You're usually doing the correct protocols. Let me verify the first four and last four numbers, BC1Q. GH4, but then you look at the screen, it's completely different. So a way to stay safe though is always just verify the address in case this ever happens, but that's always a safe practice. But that is what this type of attack did happen. So let's go through this article to learn a little bit more about it. So Charles Gumet, Chief Technology Officer at hardware wallet maker Ledger, warned on X on Monday that a large-scale supply chain attack is underway after the compromise of a reputable developer node package manager account. Now, according to Gumet, the malicious code already pushed into packages with over 1 billion downloads is designed to silently swap crypto wallet addresses and transactions. That means unsuspecting users could send funds directly to the attacker without realizing it. Now, Gumet did not name the developer whose account he said was compromised. Now, and the incident underscores how deeply interconnected open source software is and why security lapses in developer tools can ripple into the crypto economy almost instantly. Here is that post from Gumet. There is a large-scale supply chain attack in progress, and the NPM account of the reputable developer has been compromised. The affected packages have already been downloaded over 1 billion times, meaning the entire JavaScript ecosystem may be at risk right now. Now, the NPM is a tool commonly used in software development using JavaScript, which makes integrating packages easy for developers, said Guillemette. Now, in a message to CoinDesk, when an attacker compromises a developer's account, they can slip malicious code into widely used packages. Now, this malicious code attempts to drain users by swapping addresses used in transactions or general on-chain activity and replacing them with the hacker's address. Gumet stressed that if any decentralized application or software wallet across any blockchain includes these JavaScript packages, then they could be compromised and crypto users could therefore use their funds. Now, we did get some word out there that a lot of these people did not get affected because, again, crypto ecosystem avoids disaster after the JavaScript NPM attack. And who were these people that said everything's okay, at least acting quickly? It was, let's see, it's scrolling down a little bit, tracking industry. So here's the industry reaction. So Aave confirmed right away that its app wasn't affected at all. Uniswap said no vulnerable packages were in use. And terms at MetaMask, Ledger, OKX Wallet, Sui, and Morpho all confirmed that they were safe. So this did not affect, so luckily all those wallets are safe out there. So nothing to worry about, guys. Now, the only sure way to combat this, though, is to use a hardware wallet with a secure screen that supports clear signing, said Gumet at CoinDesk. Now, this will allow users to see exactly which address funds are being sent to and ensure they match the intended address. Because, again, if you're using just like a software wallet, which is, again, just an app on your phone, and you're basically doing everything on there, you're just seeing that straight up QR code and that's it. At least with a hardware wallet, when you plug in your device, it's a vape, but when you plug in your device, you get two screens. You get the app on screen plus the hardware device, which will show the wallet. So you can verify at least that they match. So you're looking over here, here's my address. Oh, it matches on this side. So then you're all good. So in case though this address on your wallet didn't match what's on the screen, don't send that transaction because that will be sent to somebody else. But that's how you want to stay safe. But hardware wallets without secure screens and any wallet that doesn't support clear signing is at high risk, as it's impossible to accurately verify the transaction details are corrected. Now, it's an opportunity to remind everyone, always verify your transactions and never blind sign. Use a hardware wallet with a secure screen and then clear sign everything, he said. So that's what we got word from yesterday. But luckily, at least today, we got a little bit of clarity, though, because again, the crypto ecosystem avoids disaster after JavaScript NPM attack. So a first minor bug, the crash revealed a obfuscated code with a check Ethereum W function, but Node.js was too old to run it. So luckily, because the system was too old, it couldn't run it. It kind of saved a lot of people. So this week, the open source world came face to face with what could have been a nightmare. A developer's Node package manager account, the very platform where countless JavaScript libraries live on, was hijacked, and the malicious updates quietly slipped into some of the most widely used packages, which together account for more than 1 billion different downloads every week. Now, had the attacker gone unnoticed a little bit longer, the fallout could have been enormous. Almost every major project in JavaScript's ecosystem, from small web apps to large crypto platforms, might have been exposed there. Now, again, Ledger CTO Charles Grumet put it bluntly that there was a large-scale attack that happened, but the code was designed to steal crypto to swapping wallet addresses out there. But fortunately, this did not take place. Now, what exactly is a supply chain attack, if you're wondering? Instead of hacking users one by one, so me and you, everyday individuals, the attackers target the tools of developers. So the people like we rely on that the code works, it's safe out there, they're attacking those people who distribute these apps. But this time, the target was a well-known open source maintainer known online as Quix, and he looks after packages like Chalk, Stripe, ANSI, and Color Convert. Now, these are not glamorous tools, but deeply embedded utility. They handle text, colors, and formatting in the background, meaning millions of projects pull them automatically. Now, that's what makes this incident so dangerous. The attack hit the roots of the ecosystem, not the leaves. Now, again, how did this all begin? The breach started with an all too familiar trick: phishing. So we all know that type of scam because I cover it all the time. But attackers sent an email pretending to be from NPM support, warning the developer that his account would be suspended unless he verified details on a fake page. He did, and the attacker walked away with full access. So they quickly pushed tainted versions of several packages, including Chalk, Strip, Color Convert, Color Name, Error, Simple Swiss, and ANSI. Now together, that's billions of downloads each month that the attack surface was almost unimaginable. Now, this was a lucky discovery, though. Ironically, the attack didn't unravel because of a security system. It fell apart because of an error message. So during a team's automated build, a job crashed with the line, reference error, fetch is not defined. So luckily, this popped up. Now, at first, it just looked like a small bug, nothing serious, but then the app crashed, and when developers dug into it a little bit deeper, they found the obfuscated code hiding inside. The giveaway was a strange function named checkEthereumMU. So tracing it showed the code trying to make fetch requests, and their node.javascript was too old to run those calls, so the malware never went through. Now, on a newer setup, though, it could have slipped in quietly without warning, so something the code was really doing. Once decoded, the payload turned out to be a crypto clipper built to hijack transactions. And it worked in 2 ways. It worked with the address swapping, so if no wallet extension was installed, the script scanned network traffic for crypto addresses. When it spotted one, it swapped it with a near identical address from the attacker's list, and a similarity check made sure that the fake looked close enough to fool the human eye. And also it worked in transaction hijacking. If a wallet like MetaMask was present, the malware tapped into the communication flow and tried to intercept transactions before a transaction was signed, and it was quietly swapped and the recipient address unless the user carefully compared what was on screen. Like I say, verify what's on your wallet and the screen itself. They could sign funds directly to the attacker. So if they didn't verify it, it would have gone to the attacker. Now, the malware targeted multiple chains: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Tron, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. Now, tracing the attack, because blockchains are public, researchers tracked one of the attacker's Ethereum wallets, which is this one right here, and surprisingly, the address had received only $498. For an attack with such a massive reach, that's a tiny sum, and analysis believe coding mistakes like the fetch crash crippled the campaign before it can inflict actual real damage. Now, again, we already said this about the industry's reactions. So once word spread, the affected developers worked with NPM security teams to remove the poison version, and clean updates were quickly published. And again, we heard from Aave, which they were not affected, Uniswap, and also teams at MetaMask, Ledger, OKX, Sui, Morpho all confirmed that they were safe. Now, these were rapid statements and helped calm fears before rumors that spiraled out of control, because I know people were coming up to me going, "Did you hear about this?" Like, no, must have been after my show because I don't get the news until the next day. But why are hardware wallets still matter, though, right now? The incident reinforced a point security expert repeat often that hardware wallets aren't just for paranoid users, they are the last line of defense. So unlike browser wallets or mobile apps, hardware wallets show transaction details directly on the device, and features like clear signing make sure that the recipient address is displayed before approval. Even if malware tampers with a browser or app, the hardware device forces users to double check. Now, here's another tweet from Guillemot that we didn't see in the last article. Update on the NPM attack. The attack fortunately failed with almost no victims. It began with a phishing email from a fake NPM support domain that stole credentials and gave attackers access to publish a malicious package update, and the ejected code targeted web crypto activity. And then here is a little thing that he saw in one of his wallets. I think that's the Ledger touchscreen wallet. I forget which one that model is. Now, as Guillemot summed it up, if your funds sit on a software wallet or exchange, you're one code execution away from losing everything, and he's just saying you may want to consider a hardware device. Now, what developers should do now for teams, the advice is straightforward but critical. Audit dependency, check every library, especially transitive ones you don't interact with directly, so that's really for the developers. Pin versions, avoid vague rages that automatically pull the newest update. So yeah, if you have a wallet that does automatic updates, shut that off. Just do them manually. If an update comes out, wait a week, and then you should be good to do that update. Then regenerate lock files, start clean to ensure no infected versions linger, and then use overrides and force safe versions across large projects. Now, this isn't just about the attack, it's about reducing risk for the next one. Now, the bigger picture is that the NPM attack is a reminder of how fragile modern development really is. A single phishing email was enough to compromise libraries used by millions of developers. While the financial damage was negligible this time, the potential wasn't. If the malware had worked as intended, it could have drained wallets at a scale. Now, there are 3 lessons worth underlying. Core utilities are high-value targets. Small, boring packages run everywhere, making them perfect attack vectors. Phishing emails and just phishing attacks remains painfully effective. Social engineering bypasses even the best technical defenses. And independent verification is essential. Hardware wallets reproduce builds, and strict dependency policies are no longer optional luxuries. The final word on this is that the incident could have easily been a catastrophic scenario, but instead it will likely be remembered as a warning about trust, about dependency, sprawl, and about the need for vigilance. Now, the fact that it was stopped by a random crash, not a monitoring system, should worry everyone. So next time we might not be so lucky. For now, the immediate threat is gone, but the lesson still remains. Open source runs on trust, and that trust needs to stay constant and protected. So guys, you're still safe out there. I know it's kind of been a little bit worrisome out there, but everything is all good. But again, this is just a warning for future developers out there and how we should go forward. Now, before I get back to some more downer news scams, I'll leave that for the end. Let's continue on with the news. What else is going on right now? Looks like the U.S. Congress seeks report ironing out details of its Bitcoin reserves. Let's hear about that. I'm always curious about the updates to this Bitcoin reserve we have here in the States. Now, if enacted, the Treasury Department will be required to produce a report on how the U.S. Strategic Bitcoin Reserve would be custodied and kept safe. So yeah, where are they going to be keeping it? U.S. lawmakers have introduced a bill directing the U.S. Treasury to examine and produce a report on the feasibility and technical considerations of the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve and U.S. digital asset stockpile that President Donald Trump has ordered. Now, the House Appropriations Bill, introduced on Friday by Representative David Joyce, contains 2 sections that direct the Treasury Department to present a report on the feasibility, custody, legal authority, and cybersecurity measures for digital assets held by the federal government within 90 days of the bill enacted. Now, the bill also asks the agency to lay out its plans for interagency transfers, now how the assets will be represented under the federal government's balance sheet, and all third-party contractors that may be responsible for the custody of these assets. Now, it is also required that the Treasury Department to lay out any potential hurdles to its implementation and gauge the impact of the reserve and will have on the Department of the Treasury Forfeiture Fund. Now, back in March, US President Donald Trump signed an executive order to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve and digital asset stockpile, which would use crypto confiscated by the government to establish both funds. Now, US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has reiterated that the agency is also exploring budget-neutral pathways to bolster the Bitcoin reserve. Now, the new bill represents some movement in the U.S. plan to create a Bitcoin reserve, and it will be considered by the full House, and if passed, will move on to the Senate. Now, in a post to the X on Thursday, Joyce expressed gratitude toward the House Appropriations Committee for advancing its board. The legislation ensures that federal government is fiscally responsible and leverages new technology and is focused on a national security, Joyce added. Now, other countries have ramped up efforts for crypto reserves. In Central Asia, Kasim Jomart Tokayev, the president of the Republic of Kazakhstan, we heard yesterday, laid out plans on Monday for the country's crypto endeavors, including a strategic crypto reserve. He floated creating a state fund for digital assets to accumulate promised assets in the new digital financial system. Meanwhile, the Philippines Congress in August was considered a proposal to establish a strategic reserve of 10,000 Bitcoin, which could make it the first country in Southeast Asia to adopt a Bitcoin as a strategic asset. Now, currently, countries holding Bitcoin in their respective reserves exceed 517,000 Bitcoin, accounting for 2.46% of the Bitcoin's total supply, according to BitBo. And again, that's 2% just out of the hands of everyday people. And again, guys, I say this in every video, just try to get that, lay it out. Bitcoin is a scarce asset, which is hence why we know it's going to keep going up. It's the only true asset that is actually scarce. What other asset out there is actually very limited or not controlled? Like gold and silver, and we can keep digging those up. Cash get printed up. It's insane. Oil, we got to dig that up. But with Bitcoin, there's only 21 million and that's it. And so just in the government's control right now is about 2%. MicroStrategy holds, I think, probably 5% with their 600. Metaplanet holds a nice, decent chunk, and all those other big whales out there. So start stocking up on some Bitcoin. If you need help, join our crypto club, and we can always help you out with that. So that's what's going on with Congress, and just talking about at least where are we going to be storing our Bitcoin, how's this going to happen, and that's good that they're having discussions about it. Now, speaking about Trump, just bringing him in the picture, looks like Trump Media is to let TruthSocial users convert gems into CRO tokens. So like Trump Media announced started purchasing a lot of CRO tokens. They had like a good partnership. So I think it was like some ETFs with Crypto.com out there too. It was some type of partnership going on out there, but that caused the price of CRO to go up. And now it looks like you can, if you're using the Trump Media app, you can earn gems and I guess replace those with CRO. That's pretty cool. So let's learn about this article and how that's going to play out. Trump Media announced that users who earn gems by participating in Trump Media activities will be able to convert them into Chronos. So Trump Media and Technology Group has updated its TruthSocial platform to connect its digital rewards program with cryptocurrency. The company announced on Tuesday that TruthSocial users subscribed to its Patriot package, a paid version of the Truth Plus streaming platform, will gain access to premium features like Truth Gems as part of its upgrade reward program. I still haven't tried that Truth Plus platform. I'm still trying. I think when they first announced it, I looked at it, but I didn't get into it. I got to take a look at it. I got to get this show and Ben's show on Truth Plus because that's where we definitely want to be streaming. Now, the gems can be earned through activities across Trump's media platform and converted into Chronos, the native token of Crypto.com, using the exchange's wallet infrastructure. Now, Cointelegraph reached out to Crypto.com for more information, but did not receive a response by publications time. Now, Trump Media takes a different approach to TruthSocial rewards. This move integrates CRO signals a pivot from the company's earlier remarks about exploring the launch of its own utility token. In April, Trump Media said it was exploring the launch of a proprietary token and digital wallet to support its Truth Plus streaming platform. Now, in April's 29th letter to shareholders, Trump Media CEO Devin Nunes said that the company is exploring the introduction of a utility token within a Truth digital wallet. Now, Nunes said that the token can initially be used to pay for subscription costs and be applied to other products within the ecosystem. And then he also added that the token will also be part of a rewards program that Trump Media is exploring across services. Then back in May, we had rumors of TruthSocial's meme coin launching circulated on social media. However, TruthSocial denied that it was planning to launch a meme coin, and Donald Trump Jr., the U.S. president's eldest son, said that there was no truth to those rumors. Now, Trump Media and Crypto.com's relationships. Oh, yes, I was fumbling on this one. But this is not the first time that Trump Media has collaborated with Crypto.com. Earlier this year, the company partnered with the platform to launch an exchange-traded fund tracking digital assets and securities with a Made in America focus. Now, the funds will launch through Truth.fi and will be available through Crypto.com's broker-dealers, Forest Capital, and the ETFs are expected to go live later in 2025, subject to regulatory approval. Now, Trump Media has also entered a major agreement with Crypto.com to acquire 684.4 million CRO tokens, worth roughly $105 million, as part of a broader $6.4 billion digital asset treasury strategy. Now, the tokens will be acquired through a mix of stock and cash and held in Crypto.com's institutional custody, potentially allowing Trump Media to stake them for additional yield out there. So yeah, it's always good when you can actually earn some extra crypto just by staking tokens. If you don't know what staking is, it's basically kind of the same thing to how Bitcoin's mining works. So it's like with Bitcoin mining, you actually need an actual computer, hardware device, usually an ASIC miner, plug that in, give it the energy, let it run its software, verify transactions, and solve blocks, and then hopefully earn you Bitcoin in return if you solve that block. With staking, the consensus mechanism for these tokens is you're locking away or holding tokens for a certain amount of time, and that's in a smart contract. So as long as you're holding these tokens, it's going to allow the smart contract to trigger and go, okay, he's holding this. Now we're going to be verifying transactions, doing this, and you're going to earn a reward on that. So some tokens out there you can stake and earn a nice, decent reward. Some can be from 4%, some can be from 10%. If you're seeing anything being earned at 50% or more, that's probably a rug pull just waiting to happen. So I think for me, if I see 20%, I'm cautious about that for earnings. But if you see like 10% or lower, maybe even 4 or 5%, you can tell it's pretty safe right there. But it's not a bad way to earn some extra crypto. If you're just planning on holding it instead of just waiting for the price to go up, why not just earn a little bit extra by securing the network by doing so? But yeah, so that's what Trump Media is doing right now. So very nice. We're about 20 minutes in. Let's take a quick commercial break. But oh, hey, we got some comments in the chat. Let's see. Stephen Smith, what up, brother? Thank you for being here. And good morning, Joe. I love how you guys are always here. So thank you for being here. Now let's take a quick commercial break and we will be right back. So which ad should I play? We have old commercials with our old phone number in there. And guys, yeah, for our programs phone number, we did make a change. And this new number down here, if you want to know about our confidential bulk Bitcoin purchases, home to hodl, loans for Bitcoin, mining program, or beef initiative, this is the new number you want to get in contact with us. So just text us or go to bbcprograms.com. And again, that's 941-413-8080. Now let's play this quick ad.
Want to connect with the world? Ready to be heard by millions? Have a talent you are ready to share or want to elevate your business to the next level? Step into the spotlight. Welcome to our all-new podcast studio at Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club, Sarasota. Introducing a cutting-edge creative space built for everyone, from first-timers to seasoned pros. Outfitted with state-of-the-art cameras, broadcast-quality microphones, professional mixers, and premium acoustic treatment, this is where your voice isn't just heard, it's felt. Whether you're recording a podcast, live streaming, or creating high-impact video content, our studio delivers next-level production value. Lights on, mic hot, let's go.
And we are back, still sipping my Diet Coke. Delicious, just that aspartame. But yeah, here at the Sarasota Crypto Club, we have a podcast room you can rent out as long as you're a member. So give us a call if you want that. And we also have a bunch of fun events going on here all the time. We have Friday night poker nights. Every Saturday, we have our new member orientation just to tell you about our programs we offer. And now we have crypto meetups every Thursday at 6 o'clock. Now, this Thursday, at September 11th from 6 to 8 p.m., join us at the club. Bring a friend, bring a guest. They don't have to be a member to attend this. It's going to be from 6 to 8. We'll have some refreshments, maybe order pizza again. But we're going to have a special guest, Holly Chance. She's a mortgage broker, and she helps with our home to hodl program. So this could be a great discussion you may want to be involved in and be a part of it. So come on in, learn about it, turn your home equity into opportunity. You'll get a network with members and newcomers. We'll have a short talk on how to access home equity, and then we'll have a Q&A. So again, join the conversation this Thursday. And we also have crypto classes that go on every week Tuesdays and Thursdays. Today, we're going to be talking about you can't print more Bitcoin. There's only 21 million, so that's going to be a great discussion. And then Thursday's class is going to be talking about it's okay to have multiple wallets out there. You don't need to have your phone wallet connected to your crypto vault wallet with Killick Solutions or wherever you keep your vault on another wallet. So we're going to discuss topics about that. So yeah, lots of stuff happening at the club. If you need more information, go to bitcoinben.io or stop at a club near you. Now let's continue on with the news. What else is going on in the crypto space? It looks like Vietnam launches a 5-year crypto market pilot with strict controls. Sorry. Now, Vietnam has adopted a 5-year crypto pilot that takes effect immediately and bans the issuance of asset backed by fiat currencies or securities. So let's dive deeper into this. So Vietnam has been ranked among the top countries worldwide for cryptocurrency adoption. It's launching a 5-year pilot program introducing strict requirements for the crypto industry. Now, Vietnam's Deputy Prime Minister Ho Duc Voc signed a resolution enforcing a framework established rules for trading and issuance of crypto assets. Now, the government's electronic newspaper of Vietnam reported on Tuesday, taking effect immediately, the pilot requires crypto transactions from issuance to trading and payments to be carried out in Vietnamese dong. Now, the resolution also specifies that issuers must be Vietnamese enterprises registered as either limited liability companies or joint stock companies under the law on enterprises. Now, Vietnam has banned issuance of fiat-backed crypto assets. So is this stable coins they're referring to? Let's find out. The pilot establishes restrictions on the backing of crypto assets, requiring that they be issued exclusively on the basis of real assets. However, issuance of assets backed with fiat currencies and securities is not allowed. Now, crypto assets must be issued based on underlying assets that are real assets, excluding assets that are securities or fiat currencies, the report reads. Now, here's Vietnam's Prime Minister Ho Duc Voc and the source government electronic newspaper of Vietnam of them discussing this. Now, additionally, the resolution stipulates that crypto assets can only be offered and issued to foreign investors through crypto asset service providers licensed by the Ministry of Finance. Now, the pilot implementation of the crypto asset market is carried out on the principles of caution, control, and a roadmap suitable to practice. It also involves safety, transparency, efficiency, and the protection of rights and legitimate interests of organizations and individuals participating in the crypto asset market. And that's what the report noted. Now, capital and staff requirements. Vietnam's crypto pilot also establishes strict capital on and personal requirements mandating the CASPs to maintain a minimum capital of 10 trillion dong or 379 million US dollars. Now, the capital must be contributed by at least 2 companies representing commercial banks, security companies, fund management companies, insurance companies, and enterprise operating in the technology sector. Now, additionally, shareholders and capital contributing members must maintain profitable business operations for 2 consecutive years prior to the year of application for a license, the report notes. Now, among staff requirements, the pilot requires CEOs to have at least 2 years of working experience in financial securities, banking, insurance, fund management, and 5 years of related experience for chief technology officers. Now, licensed applicants must also ensure that they have at least 10 employees in the technology department with relevant education and more. And Vietnam's crypto pilot came soon after local lawmakers approved the law on digital technology industry in June. Now, scheduled to come into force in January 2026, the legislative provides legal status to crypto assets and highlights Vietnam's ambition to become a digital tech hub. Now, this is a lot of rules out there, which seems a lot more strict than, say, the US, but hey, we'll see how this one plays out. Again, it's a pilot program, and so these are the rules that they must abide by. So, okay, but again, adoption for crypto is happening all over the world. Sure, some countries may have some other rules with it, but hey, if you play on the DeFi side, the only rules you got to follow is the blockchain rules, and that's it. So that's what's going on in Vietnam. Now let's move over to South Korea. It looks like South Korea's Upbit launches its own blockchain called Giwa. So Upbit, South Korea's largest crypto exchange, has launched Giwa, a new Ethereum Layer 2 blockchain that makes Web3 faster, cheaper, and easier for everyday users. Giwa is short for Global Infrastructure for Web3 Access. Now, is this called GIWA, or I just say GIWA? I remember one time all you guys were complaining that I was calling ADA, just spelling it out ADA, Cardano's ADA token. So I'm really cautious about when I would say some words or abbreviations. I'm going to continue calling it GIWA, but if you know, let me know in the comments. Now, the blockchain delivers 1-second block times near real-time transactions and full support for Ethereum tools and smart contracts, so developers and users can use it easily. Now, Upbit builds GIWA to grow South Korea's Web3 market. Upbit's parent company, Dunamu, filed multiple trademark applications under GIWA, and these filings hinted that the company was about to release something big, and they even added a countdown clock on the website for the Upbit Developer Conference. Users, traders, and developers were all excited for weeks, and then when GIWA finally came out, it showed that Upbit was ready to move beyond just being just an exchange. So like Coinbase with Base, OKX with OKChain, and Binance with its BNB chain, Upbit's new blockchain would give the platform more control over its ecosystem and support faster innovation in Web3. Now, Upbit wants to simplify Web3 in South Korea and make it accessible for everyday users by providing a fast and affordable blockchain that is easily connected with the developers' tools on Ethereum. With Upbit's influence in Korea, experts believe that many traders will jump on board if the company uses GIWA to launch new tokens. Now, GIWA speeds up Ethereum and adds simple identity tools. GIWA was designed to solve Ethereum's slow transaction periods and high gas fees that rise when servers are overloaded. Instead of replacing ETH with GIWA, it works as a layer 2 network, and then again, this means that most transactions happen on its own system and are then recorded back onto Ethereum's chain. This way, users won't have to deal with Ethereum's performance issues, but still enjoy a tight security feature. Now, GIWA is also fully compatible with Ethereum's system, which runs smart contracts like Ethereum Virtual Machine, and this makes it easier for developers to deploy their smart contracts from Solidity, the standard programming language for Ethereum, onto GIWA without rewriting or making big changes. Now, they can also use the same tools and development framework that they already know. In this way, GIWA attracts more developers looking for faster speeds and lower fees without starting from scratch. Now, GIWA also comes with a GIWA ID built as a soulbound token, or SBT, which is a special type of token that cannot be transferred or traded once it has been issued. Now, for digital wallets, users with GIWA ID get verified, and then their identity is locked to their original wallet, so it cannot be sold or misused. And if users has issues with their verification, GIWA offers a 90-day grace period for them to fix it before the revocation. Now, while GIWA is still in development, the team launched a public testnet so developers can experiment and test their application in a live space. The testnet works on chain ID 91342 through an RPC endpoint and Blockchain Explorer. This means developers can connect, deploy contracts, and track transactions like it is on the main network. So that's a little upgrade with Upbit, the exchange out there. So again, they just want a little bit more control with their ecosystem and what they can do. And again, this is for Web3 applications. For those who know what Web3 is, Web 1 was basically our first iteration of the internet, which was just read only. You can only just send an email, read it, that was it. Then we eventually got the upgrade to Web 2, which is now you can write on the internet. So now you can make changes. You can have a social media platform. So it's where Facebook, YouTube, and all that come into play. And now we come into Web 3, which is now you can own your data and privacy with it. Because in Web 2, all those apps usually sell your data, and then you get those spam emails out there. But with this, you can control what information gets to you. So you'll be connecting your wallet, say, to a website or whatnot. Do I have an example on here? Let me see. Let me check my bookmarks. I know I'm on this computer and not my laptop. Let's see. Do I have anything I can showcase as a Web3 wallet? Well, let's see. Qubetics. Okay. I might be able to show you this one. I got involved with this little project a while ago just by seeing articles. I put $30 in. I think it went up a little bit. But yeah, Qubetics. So picture this website up here. You can connect your wallet. So I'll connect my wallet. It's MetaMask, which I don't have anything on here because my crypto holdings is on my other wallet. I'll connect my transaction. Connected. Boom. If I had coins on here, it would show me in a dashboard because I connected my wallet. If I didn't connect my wallet, I couldn't see anything. So you're a little bit more in control. But that is kind of how the Web3 system works. But all right. So that's what's going on with Upbit. I guess I didn't move my screen, but let's continue on with some other exchanges out there. What else is happening? Looks like Signatic Bank partners with Bybit for safeguarding crypto assets. Now, Bybit is a big exchange. They were able to survive that ginormous $1.3 billion attack. Or is it $1 million? But they are still fine and they're still safe. And looks like this bank is partnering with them to keep their crypto safe. So let's hear a little bit more. So institutional traders gain access to Bybit's deep liquidity while keeping assets off balance sheets in Signum's secure regulated custody. Now, Switch digital asset bank Signum has partnered with cryptocurrency exchanges Bybit to strengthen institutional safeguards in the crypto trading space. The agreement connects Bybit trading platform with Signum's Protect, an off-exchange custody solution designed to give institutions full trading access without compromising asset security. Now, as per the official announcement, institutional clients can continue trading spot and derivatives on Bybit while their assets remain off balance sheets and held securely at Signum. Balances are updated in real time, and profit and loss are automatically settled every 8 hours, offering both liquidity and operational efficiency. Now, this partnership comes amid the current increased apprehension around counterparty risks in digital asset markets by holding assets at a regulated Swiss bank, and institutions gain the benefit of bankruptcy remote protection under Swiss law, backed by multiple layers of security and independent auditing. Now, Signum's growing dominance right now. Signum Protect has grown quickly since its launch, already serving as the off-exchange custody provider for Binance and Dearbit. With Bybit now integrated, the platform covers exchanges that account for more than half of global spot and derivative volumes, making it the largest bank-run custody network of its kind. Now, Signum's chief product officer, Dominic Lohberger, added that the rapid adoption of Signum Protect by institutional clients trading on Binance and Dearbit and now Bybit demonstrate the urgent market need for bank-grade, off-balance sheet custody solutions. Now, we are delighted to welcome Bybit to our growing network of integrated exchanges. And now looking ahead, Signum aims to introduce automated collateral transfers between supported exchanges, helping traders deploy capital more efficiently while keeping its risk in check. So here's a partnership going on with Bybit and Signum, and that's okay. That's pretty cool news right there. Just getting the word out there, because if you use the Bybit exchange, you may like this and be going, oh, I'm getting a little bit safer now. So this is some pretty cool news. Now, in other little news, I'll probably just run through this really quickly, these two. It looks like the BBVA taps into Ripple for institutional Bitcoin Ethereum custody in Europe. So this article is really referring to Ripple expanding across borders right now. So Ripple will provide crypto custody services to Spain's BBVA bank, expanding its existing partnership amid the MiCA-driven adoption by European banks. Now, Ripple, the U.S. blockchain firm behind XRP cryptocurrency, will provide crypto custody services to Spanish bank Banco Bilbao Vizcaya Argentaria. That's a long name. Now, according to a Tuesday announcement, Ripple's agreement to provide crypto custody services to the BBVA follows the bank's recent announcement of its Bitcoin and Ether retail trading and custody service. Now, BBVA will rely on Ripple's institutional custody service to power services to its customers. Now, BBVA's head of digital asset, Francisco Morado, said that the Ripple's custody service allows it to meet the necessary standards to directly provide an end-to-end custody service. Now, Ripple's managing director for the European region, Cassie Craddock, said that the European Union markets and crypto assets regulation has encouraged local banks to move forward with initiatives such as the BBVA's. Now, BBVA has long been one of the region's most innovative banks, she said, with her comments following the recent reports that its advisors had told wealthy clients to invest between 3 and 7% of their portfolios in crypto. Now, this is not the first collaboration between firms. BBVA Switzerland decided to move its crypto custody infrastructure to Ripple's service back at the end of 2023, and Turkey-based Guarantee BBVA adopted Ripple's service in 2024. Now, the MiCA is driving adoption among European banks. So with the rollout of the MiCA, it has promoted a wave of traditional banks to enter the crypto sector. Lucas and Zerdorfo Conrad, long names here, the deputy CEO of the EU-based crypto exchange Bitpanda, told Cointelegraph in April that some of the European Union's largest banks are looking to enter crypto's industry as a result because of the MiCA. Now, this prediction proves to be right on the money, and BBVA's moves follow early July reports that Germany's biggest bank, Deutsche Bank, plans to allow its clients to store cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin next year. Now, Deutsche Börse trading unit Clearstream is also preparing to launch cryptocurrency custody and settlement services for institutional clients this year, and earlier this year, Börse Stuttgart Digital Custody became Germany's first crypto asset service provider to receive a full license under the MiCA. Now, Standard Chartered, one of the world's largest banks, also launched its cryptocurrency service in Europe after obtaining a digital asset license in Luxembourg in early July. Now, guys, banks are getting involved with crypto. And Bitcoin is scarce. And there's always that saying, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. So if you're going to be leaving your crypto on, like even Bitcoin on with these banks and everything, you're giving them custody of it. It's like your own money. Your money in the bank is not your money anymore. The moment you deposit it, it's technically the bank's money. They just have an IOU for it. They can borrow against it. They can use it. They can make more money out thin air. But no, so the important thing is make sure you self-custody your crypto out there, but banks are getting involved, and that's just telling you that eventually that supply of Bitcoin is going to be taken off the open market and held in the custody, and they're going to control how it can be distributed. That's why we say with Bitcoin is going to be so scarce, it's going to be hard to acquire 2,000 Satoshis, because that's usually how the banking system is right now. You try to go get two grand out, $5,000. There is a limit where they say, oh, we got to wait a couple of days to get you this money, because they don't have the money at the banks. And soon they'll put limitations on your crypto holdings too. So always self-custody your crypto. Don't relinquish it to the big guys out there. But some people are still going to do it though. And again, that's just going to take Bitcoin off the table and just make it even more scarce and harder to get. So again, if you have Bitcoin, you are solid and definitely helping your family for the long run. Because again, this is an asset that can be used for generational wealth. I'm following my dad's plan, and I want to continue that when I have kids too. I'm going to teach my kids about, we never sell our Bitcoin. We're just acquiring it right now, and then we'll utilize it for benefits later on. But yeah, so that's what our Ripple's expansion going on right now with institutional developers. Other news we have for you, looks like Tether's Bitcoin holdings is actually up. CEO debunks the BBC dumping claim. So I guess there's been reports that Tether was dumping its Bitcoin, but that is false news, and Arduino clarified that. So we don't really need to cover the whole article, but Tether CEO Paulo Arduino also confirmed that Mao's clarification and stated that the firm had not sold any Bitcoin, but had simply allocated part of its reserves to XXI. And Arduino reiterated that while the stablecoin issuer continues to diversify profits into its assets like Bitcoin, gold, and land, its commitment to Bitcoin remains unshaken. So while the world continues to get darker, Tether will continue to invest part of its profits into safe assets like Bitcoin, gold, and land. So yeah, so just debunking that rumor out there. Don't even really cover this whole article out there. Just people thought that Tether, the USDT stablecoin, was dumping their their Bitcoin holdings, but nope, that was debunked. Didn't happen. Now let's move on to the scam articles of the day, because it looks like a California man has been sentenced to 37 million crypto scam amid ongoing DOJ crackdown. So victims of a crypto scam were lured through messages and dating apps, then tricked into fake crypto investments. So this is our romance scam out there happening, which I always like calling it the pig butchering scam, because it's so derogatory. It sounds nasty. And because the scam is, they're thriving off lonely individuals out there, pretending to be beautiful ladies, or I don't know, husbands out there too, even vice versa. It happens on both genders, both sides. And they just take advantage of people's loneliness. And so, yeah, they send them messages, they befriend them, or they pretend to befriend them, building that trust, and then eventually leading them over to a fake scam out there and then draining that victim's money. So it's sad. It's called a romance scam, but in real term, it's a pig butchering scam. But let's go through this, because luckily this man was arrested. So yes, let's take away these bad actors out of there. So Sheng Heng He, a California man who helped launder nearly $37 million stolen from U.S. investors through global cryptocurrency scam, was sentenced Monday to 51 months in federal prison. Just 51 months, give him more time. And then they ordered to pay $26.9 million in restitution from the federal prosecutors. Now, a resident of La Puente, California, had pleaded guilty in April to conspiracy to operate an unlicensed money transmitting business. According to the Justice Department, he co-owned Access Digital Limited, a Bahamas-based company used to receive, transfer victim funds. The scheme relied on unsolicited messages, phone calls, and dating app conversations to build trust with victims. Now, the co-conspirators then promoted fraudulent digital asset investments to its victims. The DOJ wrote, scammers would tell victims that their investments were appreciating in value, when in fact the funds the victims sent to the scammer had just been stolen. Once victims sent money, the funds were funneled into a single Access Digital account at the Deltec Bank in the Bahamas, then converted into Tether, the USDT stablecoin, and moved to wallets controlled by the scammers. Now, authorities said that the funds were routed through shell companies and overseas accounts to obscure their origin. Now, prosecutors said that the scam operated out of Cambodia and pig butchering centers where criminals use social engineering to defraud victims. Now, again, pig butchering scams are typically high-volume digital fraud schemes, and in 2024 netted $9 billion, according to Chain Analysis. Victims believed they were investing in legitimate digital assets, but their money was being laundered across networks of accounts spanning multiple countries. Now, the Department of Justice did not respond to a request or comment by Decrypt, and he's the case that is part of a broader crackdown in crypto-related fraud. In recent months, the Justice Department has seized digital assets linked to terrorist financing, returned millions to victims in investment fraud, and then targeted offshore exchanges used to launder illicit funds. In March, prosecutors seized $201,000 in a crypto-linked attack in Hamas, and in July, the DOJ began returning $7.1 million to victims of a $97 million oil and gas fraud scheme. Now, authorities have also taken down domains tied to Russian run exchanges accused of processing more than $800 million in illicit transactions. And 8 co-conspirators have pleaded guilty in the Axis Digital case, including Jose Samarvia and Jingling Su, 2 of his business partners. Su, a Chinese national, helped convert and transfer stolen funds. So, yeah. So be aware, guys, of romance scams out there. Luckily, this guy is being arrested. Just take another bad actor off the streets. But, guys, if you need some company, join the club. If one's not near you, one's going to be popping up hopefully nearby. We're opening up 10 a year, but it's a place to network, have community. If you're lonely, please just don't fall for these scams out there. Man, I feel like I've learned about these romance scams in my early days in high school. Dating apps are just starting out. We have iPhones. We're using this. And I remember just seeing how the fake people kind of talk in the chats out there. So you're talking to someone, it's like, you don't sound legit. Say 4 for me. And then they just tell something completely different. But AI has definitely advanced scammers technology out there. But just because I've gone through the motions for all these years, I can kind of spot that scam just like that. And that's what I do here at the Crypto Club. If you come in, you feel like you're being scammed, just give me just a tiny bit of information, just how it began. I can just tell you straight up, just to give you some peace of mind going, nope, that's a scammer. Because instead of you just freaking out going, did I get scammed? Did I not? I trust that person. Just give us a call and we can easily help you out. Just give you a quick answer right there and just let you know, just to give you a peace of mind. Don't do that. And then if you do, as long as you're not deterred from crypto altogether and you still want to learn about this safely, join the club and then become a member, and then we can help you and sit you down to do this the right way. So this is what happened in California, just a man being sentenced to this pig butchering scheme. And then also be aware of Athena Bitcoin ATMs right now, because apparently a lot of scammers are telling elderly people to go put their money into this crypto ATM and send it to them. Usually it could be a pig butchering scam, could be just something completely else as well. But it looks like this article is covering that the operators are actually banking from it. They have no control of where it's going or using machines. They're just offering the Bitcoin to sell it. But the firm has allegedly charged seniors a 26% fee to buy Bitcoin. And that's kind of usually how all ATMs are. Even the one in our club right here, Byte Federal, they're 26 to 30%. Crypto ATMs are not the best way to buy crypto. I'm just saying that right now. They're very high in fees. And if you go to a traditional exchange out there or even use your Cash App, it's usually only 3%, 3.5%. But again, it's monitored, it's tracked. The government knows what you're doing with that. But hey, if you want some confidential Bitcoin purchases for you, again, we got a program for you. Just check that out. Sure, I think our fee is either 6.5% to 9%, depending on how you want to pay for it. But again, having confidential Bitcoin is a nice little option for you guys to take advantage of for being a member. So yeah, no, I'm totally selling the club right now, but it's this is some great offers I want to do, and just try to point out, again, these scams out here, they're pointing to ATMs, but again, that's not the best way to buy crypto at all. Just pointing that out there. But let's go through this article, just really finish this up. This is our last one. So Washington, D.C. Attorney General Brian L. Schwab unveiled a lawsuit against Athena Bitcoin Inc. on Monday, accusing the Bitcoin ATM operator of consistently ignoring scams targeting elderly residents and failing to disclose excessive fees. Now, the firm, which operates 4,100 Bitcoin ATMs in 5 countries, was charged with 2 counts of violating the Consumer Protection Procedures Act through deceptive and unfair trade practices. Athena was also charged with the financial exploitation of vulnerable adults and the elderly. Athena's stocks, which traded over the counter, rose 8.5% to 2 cents on Monday, according to Yahoo Finance, and the company's stock price has plummeted 83% year to date. Now, an Athena spokesperson told Decrypt that the firm strongly disagrees with these allegations and will defend itself in court. Now, we employ aggressive safety protocols to protect financial interests of our customers, and we provide robust consumer education to ensure that they are well informed of the risks as well as safe practices associated with kiosks, they said. Now, our kiosks employ multiple safeguards, from prominent warnings and daily transaction limits to 5 separate verification screens designed to stop coerced transactions and confirm that Bitcoin currency is going to a wallet that the customer owns. And Bitcoin ATMs allow customers to exchange cash for crypto, and they are frequently used by scammers as a way to collect payouts from victims because they are irreversible in nature of crypto transactions, and their targets often know little about cryptocurrencies and how they work. And again, like, even though these ATMs have precautions out there, you call them to usually get yourself verified. They put warnings up there going, are you sure you know this person? This doesn't protect, again, the people who fell for a romance scam out there. Because, again, they build trust with these scammers. They think they are legit. So when the ATM people are letting them know, hey, are you sure you know this person? They go, yeah, I've been talking to them for years. So there's got to be another way to kind of protect against the scam, other than some states are actually removing crypto ATMs in general in places. I've seen some articles like that. It's just you can only do so much, again. So I don't think, if the Athena fights it, I think they will win it. Because, again, they're just the exchange out there for how these people actually spend it. They can put all the warnings they want out there, but again, it's the user's own choice to actually use it and move it, and they gotta know exactly where they do it. So that's what's happening with Athena's Bitcoin ATMs out there. And again, if you want to use cash for crypto, just use Cash App. Honestly, you can go to any single 7-Eleven and go, hey, can you put this money on my Cash App? You give them the cash, they scan your QR code on the app. Now you have money in the Cash App, and then you just buy the Bitcoin with it. It's like a 3% fee. It's that simple. So if you want to use cash for crypto, that's an option you have right there. But that is it for the news I have for you. Let's take a look at our fear and greed index. We are currently at a 42 still. We're in neutral, so we haven't dipped into that. No, 44 went up. So we are not in the fear territory, but we're just hovering. Bitcoin's currently at 110, just 111. Ethereum's at 4,200. XRP under $3, 294, and Solana 214. Now, any quick little short news bits on Twitter? I didn't get to pull this up. Let's see, from Bitcoin Magazine. Just in, White House Executive Director said strategic Bitcoin reserve is a top priority for me personally and for the administration, and they are exploring some creative ways to accumulate more Bitcoin. I do like to hear that. And let's see, what else? Latest crypto market structure framework from Democrats aims to deny bad actors using public blockchains while enabling financial privacy. Let's see, that's a skipper version. Let's see, just in, world's leading derivatives exchange CBOA to launch continuous futures for Bitcoin. Nice, so just more news is pumping into Bitcoin. And then also, breaking, President Trump says the Fed is broken. It needs to be fixed. That is so true. I think Ben even talked about that this morning. So if you want to go watch Bitcoin Ben's show, I recommend you always rewatch his shows because he is just filled with so much knowledge. And then breaking for 5 year, we covered that article. Let's see, NASDAQ invests 50 million Bitcoin in crypto exchange. So there is just always so much stuff happening in crypto. I can't cover all the articles. I always try to give you the most important ones happening out there and just what's keeping you safe. So everyone, have an awesome Tuesday. I got about 40 minutes to my class I got to do with Steve Blanco up in Nashville. And again, if you want to attend our crypto meetup here in Sarasota, we're at 2738 Bee Ridge Road. And again, it's going to be a great and fun opportunity to network with members and newcomers. And yeah, maybe take advantage of our Home to Hodl program. And you may want to be a member so you can ask questions with Holly. So guys, have a great day. I will see you tomorrow with some more crypto news.
In a world where your data is constantly under attack, one company stands for your digital freedom. Introducing Calyx Solutions, your gateway to ultimate online privacy and secure cryptocurrency trading. Meet the Liberty Laptop. With its modified OS and advanced tracking prevention, it's your shield against surveillance. Access restricted areas, use recommended security software, and browse with confidence. Your digital footprint? Virtually non-existent. For the crypto pros, we present the Crypto Laptop. Pre-configured on premium hardware for secure trading. Optimized for your favorite wallets and exchanges, it's the fortress your digital assets deserve. Both laptops come with expert individual training and support. You're never alone in your journey to digital empowerment. At Calyx Solutions, we put you in control. No more worrying about data breaches or compromised transactions. Ready to join the revolution? Visit calyxsolutions.io and choose your perfect laptop today. Plus, become an affiliate and earn while sharing the power of digital freedom. Calyx Solutions. Unlock your digital freedom. Give us a call or text at 702-845-8276 or visit us directly at calyxsolutions.io.